This is Bolt Business, a complete business manager designed for people who want modern tools in a simplified shell. One screen, 12 large tiles, and every one of them opens something that runs a real business operation. Customers, invoices, money, PayPal, stock, reports, a genuine public website, a print shop for paper media, files, an AI helper, automations, and settings. That is the entire map of the application. There are no menus hiding inside menus, no jargon, and nothing that locks records away in someone else's cloud. Everything shown in this video lives in ordinary files, in one folder, on the user's own computer. Records that can be seen, copied, and backed up like any other files. Underneath the friendly surface sits a serious engine, exact integer money mathematics so totals can never drift, an append-only ledger of the kind a real accountant keeps, and an AI helper, powered by Claude, that operates the same application through the same doors, with explicit approval required for anything that matters. This video follows a business from an empty folder to a published website, with online payments, printed business cards, and a folded paper display cube on the counter. Dev testers are currently being sought to put the software through its paces, real people running real or practice businesses, reporting where it shines and where it causes hesitation. Details are at the end of the video and in the description. Everything starts with a customer, and adding one is deliberately the easiest task in the application. A name is enough. Phone, email, address, and notes are all optional and can be added later. Note the speak button at the bottom. Every text box in the entire application accepts dictation. Say the name, say the phone number, press save. For anyone with limited dexterity or no patience for typing, that single feature changes the experience completely. Typical uses: a dog sitter's client list with gate codes kept in the notes, a window cleaner's round with one card per house, a piano teacher's students with lesson days recorded, a treasurer's list of suppliers. The customer card anchors everything that follows. Invoices attached to it, unpaid balances follow it, and the helper can look anyone up by name when asked how much a given customer still owes. The money page carries the philosophy of the whole application in one screen. 3 large, honest figures: what came in this month, what is still owed, and what was spent. Beneath them, the story so far, every money event written as a plain sentence, newest first. $120 came in against invoice 13. Not a spreadsheet to interpret sentences. Underneath, this is a true append-only ledger. Money in starts from an invoice. Spending is recorded directly, and nothing is ever silently edited or deleted. Corrections are new entries, exactly as an accountant would require. Every figure comes from the application's integer exact money engine. There is no floating point anywhere, no rounding drift, and no discrepancy of a single cent, ever. At the end of the week, the money page reads as a story. At tax time, the accountant receives a real ledger. In a slow month, the still owed figure shows exactly who to remind, and the helper can draft those reminders on request. Bolt Business connects to the owner's own PayPal account, and it starts in practice mode. Fake money, real buttons. Everything that follows: emailing invoices with a pay button, recurring payment plans, refunds, discount codes, the website's checkout, can be rehearsed on PayPal's sandbox with pretend dollars until it feels routine, then switch to real money in one deliberate, password-guarded step in settings. The tabs across the top describe the range. Invoices sent through PayPal so customers pay by card directly from their email, recurring plans for weekly or monthly services, money in reconciliation so PayPal payments land in the business's own books, dispute visibility and coupons, real discount codes the website enforces. The design principle is strict. PayPal is the rails, the business's files are the books. PayPal moves the money, but the record of what happened always lives in the owner's own ledger. Reading is unrestricted, but anything that emails a customer or moves actual money stops at a plain yes or no card on screen first. Nothing outward-facing ever happens on autopilot. Stock is the product and price list, and it feeds everything else. What is it called? What does it sell for? Optionally what it costs, and optionally a warning level. Warn when fewer than 5 remain. Those few fields power a remarkable amount. Services appear on invoices with prices attached. They flow onto the website's services section automatically. The print shop can place the live price list on a flyer or a menu, and the home screen quietly warns when something runs low. Typical uses: a baker's loaves and cakes with cost tracking to reveal true margin, a groomer's service tiers, a craft seller's inventory with low stock warnings before market day, a tutor's lesson types. Change a price here once, and every invoice, website page, and printed menu from that moment forward carries the new price. No hunting through documents for stale numbers. Reports answers the questions owners actually ask. How did this month go? How did last month go? How is the year? And who owes me? Each report shows money in, money spent, and what was kept. with a chart drawn locally on the computer, and every report saves as a PDF or prints. The most significant button is at the top, the year-end package for the accountant. One press builds a single zip containing everything an accountant requests in January: profit and loss on both cash and invoiced basis, a tax summary from frozen invoice totals, aged receivables, the complete ledger, every invoice and credit note as PDFs, expenses with their receipts, and a plain language cover sheet explaining the contents. The annual hours of shoebox archaeology become one button. Further uses: monthly self-review, proof of income for a loan or rental application, and a glance at who owes me before deciding whether a chasing week is due. The part many people do not expect: the business gets a real public website built inside the application from records already entered. Step 1 is choosing a look. 8 design styles: modern pearl, warm and friendly, classic and elegant, seaside, editorial, blossom, evening, and bold and dark, with a promise that separates this from website builders people have fought with before. The design cannot break. Any text length, any photo, any mix of sections. The templates are constructed to survive all of it, and the look can be changed at any time without losing a word of content. Pages start already filled in from what the application knows: the business name, services and prices, hours, and contact details. There is no blank canvas to stare at, only something that is already most of the way right, waiting to be adjusted. This is for the business that has been meaning to have a website for 3 years, and the one whose current website is a social media post. This is the entire website editor. The look and its safe adjustments at the top: style, accent color, layout, lettering size, each a drop-down, each safe to change on a whim. Pages in the middle: add one, rename it, remove it, with navigation between pages generated automatically. Sections of each page below: reorderable with arrows. 2 buttons matter at the bottom. See My Website opens an instant preview on the local computer. Private, free, unlimited, no internet involved. Put it on the internet is the only button that goes public, and it is a guided, careful sequence that verifies the signed-in account before touching anything. The doctrine of the whole application in one sentence: drafts are free and fearless. Going public is always a deliberate press. Change the style on a whim. Preview it, reconsider, change it back. The live site never notices until told to. The menu of what can go on a page, where the website goes from brochure to working storefront. Welcome banner, about us, services and prices fed from stock, opening hours with a live Open Now indicator, photo gallery, reviews, contact form, and announcement strips that display and retire themselves on set dates. A holiday notice that takes itself down. Questions and answers, kind words, find us elsewhere links. Then the commerce sections. Pay online with real PayPal buttons. Subscriptions drawn from PayPal plans, a tip jar, gift certificates, and booking requests that arrive in the application's inbox. Finally, custom code, the escape hatch, where anything unique to a business joins the page as a single paste. Typical combinations: a pet care business selling gift certificates before the holidays, a performer's page built around a tip jar and gallery, a tutor taking booking requests without phone tag, a cafe managing snow day announcements from a phone. The real result: live in a browser. A contact form in the classic and elegant look. That form is quietly doing serious work. It is protected by an invisible bot check and an hourly cap, so messages come from humans rather than spam floods. When someone writes, the message lands as a real file in the application's inbox, and an email notice goes out. The architecture makes this genuinely practical for a one-person business. The website runs on its own small database in the cloud, so it continues collecting messages, payments, reviews, and bookings, while the computer is completely off. Open the application on Monday morning, and everything from the weekend files itself home into the records. The result is a front desk that never sleeps, one that hands over tidy files instead of a tangle of notifications. The custom code door in action: a live price calculator on the site, service, care type, weight range, number of nights, and the estimated total updates as the visitor chooses. This exact calculator runs on a working pet care website today. The point is not that every business needs this calculator. It is that when a business has the one thing no template offers, there is a proper place for it. Code pasted into a custom section inherits the site's look automatically. Possibilities include a mover's rough quote calculator, a baker's portion planner, an embedded service area map, a booking widget from an existing system, or an animated mascot. The template keeps everything else safe. This one section allows the site to be limitless where it counts, and the application itself warns whenever custom code changes, so nothing reaches the site unnoticed. Reviews. With the approval flow every small business actually wants. Visitors leave stars and words through this form, which carries the same bot protection as everything else. but nothing appears publicly until the owner approves it. Each review waits for a yes or no, approve, optionally with a public reply in the owner's own voice, or set aside, where it remains on record but never shows. Approvals can be granted from a phone while the computer at home is off, and every decided review is also written into the owner's own files. The reviews belong to the business, not to a platform. This suits the restaurant that wants praise displayed but complaints handled privately first, the seasonal business collecting 5-star trust before its busy period, and anyone who has watched a competitor suffer spam reviews and wants a front door with a lock. The print shop, because a local business still lives on paper. This is a hands-on design canvas. Click anything to select it, drag to move, pull the corner handle to resize, nudge with arrow keys, and undo any misstep. On the right, the available elements, not clip art, but the business's own assets, words, pictures, a QR code pointing at a real page of the website chosen from a drop-down, a details block that updates when the phone number changes, services and prices pulled live from the records, opening hours, color shapes, discount codes, and punch grids. The design kinds cover the entire paper life of a small business. Business cards 10 to a sheet, flyers 3 to a sheet, posters including a large format that tiles across 4 pages for trimming and taping, fold-up pamphlets with printed fold marks, gift vouchers carrying real codes, service menus, loyalty punch cards, door hangers with the knob hole marked, table tents, and folded paper builds. OnePress matches everything to the website's look, so paper and web remain one brand. The whole sheet view of a triangle prism, a fold-up paper build in the style of a chocolate bar box. On the sheet, dashed lines mean cut, dashed dot lines mean fold, and tinted areas are tuck tabs. Structure, never canvas. 3 long faces to design, a seam tab that slides inside, and pointed end caps deliberately made slightly long so they wedge shut. No glue, no tape, only crisp folds. A numbered How It Builds guide prints alongside. Why does business software fold paper? Because a small standing triangle on a counter, carrying a promotion and a QR code that scans to the website, is marketing that costs 1 sheet of paper. It serves as a table talker for a cafe's specials, a scan-to-book display beside a till, or event markers for a market table. The geometry underneath is computed with the same exactness as the money. Every fold lands where the sheet mathematics places it, to the 100th of a millimeter. The origami cube and the drop-down that makes it notable. Front, right, back, left, top the lid, and bottom. 6 real faces, each its own small canvas, designed separately. Logo on the front, QR code on the right, services on the back, tagline on the left, the business name on the lid. It assembles like a small shop box. 4 walls wrap into a tube, the side tab slides inside, dust flaps fold in, and the lid tucks closed. Friction holds everything, no glue involved. Uses include a counter cube beside a register, where people pick it up, turn it over, and encounter 6 faces of the business. A small gift with purchase box, table numbers for an event with a menu QR on every face, or a relocation notice with the new address on every side. It is the kind of output no one expects from business software, which is precisely why it gets remembered. The cube as it actually prints, the classic, cross-shaped net with every tab in place. Cut around the dashed outline, crease every dashed dot line, and the How It Builds guide walks the folds in order. Tube first, tab inside, bottom flaps in, lid last. Everything designed on the 6 faces lands exactly where the geometry dictates. The lid hinge sits over the front column, the walls share 1 row, and the whole net is verified to remain inside the printable area of a letter or A4 sheet. This is the quiet theme of the entire print shop. What appears on screen is what prints, because a single drawing engine renders the editor, the preview, the PDF, and the printer page. 1 printed sheet and a pair of scissors, and the business has a production line. This screen is the deepest promise of the application. My files. Clients, config, finance, inbox, inventory, ops, print, reports, website. Every record the application keeps, as ordinary folders and files on the local computer, 1 press away from File Explorer. Invoices are real PDFs. Customers are real files. The ledger is a real CSV any accountant can open. The website's content and the print designs are files. There is no lock-in, no export button that must be trusted, and no cloud account holding records hostage. The folder backs up like any folder and copies to a USB stick. If the software is ever set aside, everything remains readable forever. The file named Claude.md at the bottom holds the house rules. A plain text files, where the owner writes how things should be done, and the AI helper reads it before every job. Always be formal with a particular customer. Never discount above 10%. Standing instructions. in the owner's words, in a file the owner controls. The helper. This note sits on the helper page from the first launch and waits until the helper receives its first job. The helper is Claude, a state-of-the-art AI, and its boundaries are the most carefully engineered part of the application. Any request can be made in the box, in ordinary words, typed or spoken. Make an invoice for a customer for 2 birthday cakes, who has not paid yet. Set up a Spring discount code and put it on the website. The helper operates the same application through the same doors, with every protection applying to it identically. Drafting is free and unlimited. Drafts cost nothing and touch nothing. But making an invoice official, recording money, deleting anything, sending anything to a customer, or publishing anything public, each of those stops at a plain yes or no card on screen and waits for a human press. Not approved means it did not happen. Before every single helper job, the application takes a verified safety copy of the entire business, so one press can undo everything a job did. While working, the helper narrates in plain words, reading the records, waiting for your yes, so the owner always knows what is happening. Artificial intelligence, with handrails. Settings, where one section deserves particular attention. Your businesses. Bolt Business runs completely separate businesses from one application. Each lives in its own folder with its own customers, invoices, ledger, website, print designs, and backups. Sharing nothing. Switching is one drop-down, and everything follows. Pages, money, website connection, all of it. The helper's conversation ends at the boundary as well. One business never hears about another. This serves the gardener, who also does snow removal in winter. 2 entities with 2 sets of books in one application. A household running a bakery and a bookkeeping side business from the same computer. Managing an elderly parent's small business alongside one's own. Or testing a new venture on a clean slate before committing. Press Start Another Business, provide a name and a money symbol, and it exists. The same settings page, at extra large. One drop-down resizes the entire application. Every page, every button, every label. This is not a zoom that crops content off the screen. The whole interface reflows at the chosen size. Combined with read aloud on every page, where the application speaks its content in a natural voice with symbols cleaned so it never reads punctuation aloud and dictation into any text box. The result is software that a 90-year-old with low vision can genuinely operate alone. Accessibility here is not a mode to switch on. It is the default posture of every screen. Status is written in words, never in color alone. Buttons state what they will do. No wrong press is punished, because the trash retains everything until deliberately emptied and backups run on their own schedule. The remote. The application. Reachable from a phone. It publishes a private page on the business's own domain, locked behind a sign-in that only approved email addresses can pass. Not a password to lose, but a secure email sign-in built on Cloudflare Zero Trust, the same class of technology corporations use to guard internal tools. From a phone, the owner can chat with the helper, check status, and approve the items waiting for a yes, a review that arrived, website money to record in the books. Deletions, deliberately, can never be approved from a phone. Those wait for the computer. In practice, a review arrives while the owner is at a market stall and is approved from the queue. A quiet holiday moment becomes a quick question to the helper about the week. The computer at home stays off while the website collects and the phone approves. The one-person business gains what large companies have always had, a desk that keeps working after hours, where nothing important happens without the owner. The final stop is the part owners should never have to think about: safety. Automatic weekly backups. Choose a home once, a cloud-synced folder or a USB stick, and the application keeps the last 4 verified copies refreshed with use. Restore has 2 doors, from settings or from the very first welcome screen on a brand new computer, where one backup zip rebuilds the entire business. The trash retains everything removed until it is deliberately emptied. Tax rates are stored with their official source link, so any rate can be defended later. And the PayPal credentials read locked. Secrets are sealed with the Windows account's own encryption. The application can use them, but never displays them back, and they never sit in a readable file. That is Bolt Business, a serious engine wearing the friendliest face possible, and it is now looking for dev testers. Thanks for watching.